What's going on, YouTube? So if you're new here, my name's Thunderstick, and welcome to the Homestead. Ladies! So today, we're doing something big here. I'll say this. It's the one bad day some of these chickens is ever gonna have. Ladies!
Which one?
How y'all doing this morning? Unfortunately, some of y'all are gonna go to freezer camp today. So we're gonna go ahead and pull out some of these birds. And we're gonna get this process started. We're trying to get this last hen down here. We've already picked her out. My uncle just grabbed her. There we go. Well, he almost had her. He almost had her. Now he's just sorting the chickens, I reckon, getting them out of his way. It's almost like sorting cattle.
Get on out the way. Get on out the way. Get on out the way.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Got all of them?
That's all of them.
All right.
So Dad's getting the chicken in the cone. And obviously he's gonna do the deed here. I know somebody's gonna make a comment or leave a comment that we dispatched the birds right next to the chicken pen. Let me tell y'all something. These chickens aren't like you and I. Animals, mammals, birds, they ain't like you and I. They don't have the same emotions and things like that. So what's more traumatizing to a chicken than watching his friend go to freezer camp is being removed, like just taking them away from their flock. Then they're like, oh my gosh, because chickens are a flock animal. They flock together. So it's much better to dispatch the chickens where they're used to living instead of taking them somewhere and then dispatching them. So we do it right next to the chicken pen. So now that we got the chickens harvested, we're gonna move on up to the house and start doing the messy work. And as y'all figured out already, this is not a tutorial about how to butcher chickens. We're just showing you what we do and how we've done it in the family for, you know, hundreds of years.
Elva.
So here we are back up here at the house. And as you can see, this is our setup. So we got our table with a little bucket for the drain. Then we also got our pot. And we got a big old trash can there with all the feathers and all the offal that we don't want. So I'm gonna go ahead and check the temperature for the water. We're trying to get it about 150 degrees. That way the feathers come out easier when you pluck them. So I got my little thermometer here. I'm gonna try not to set myself on fire. And we're just gonna check the water temperature. Alright, so we're up there, y'all. As you can see, we're at 183. So we need to chill this water down.
I can chill it down.
Otherwise, we'll start cooking the bird. My uncle just put some cooler water in the pot. So that should cool down the water. So we're at 159, 160.
That's good.
We'll just turn the fire off. So Dad just throw some birds and chicken. It's crucial to just stir it around a little bit. That way that hot water gets all up in the feathers. And you'll know when it's about time. You just want to give it about 30 seconds in the water, depending on how hot your water is. Like I said, right now we're trial and error. We don't do this often enough to have a system down. So as you can see, them feathers come off real easy. So apparently that 160 is perfect. Hopefully we didn't end up cooking the birds.
No, it looks perfect.
Dad said it's all good.
All right, Bowen's dunking his first chicken today.
Try not to burn myself. That's the last thing I need. That should be good enough.
This one's kicking real good. You did real well dunking that chicken.
Good chicken dunker.
I'm not good at too many things, but apparently I'm good at dunking chickens.
You had no chicken feet and rice, I see.
Nah, I don't think most of us want chicken feet and rice. We ain't that hard up no more. What's cool about what's going on behind me here, and I'm not going to belabor this long because I got to get back to the table. What's going on is about several hundred years worth of knowledge right there. You know, my dad's grandmother taught him how to clean chickens. My uncle's mother taught him how to clean chickens. In turn, they're passing down knowledge to me. You know, and that's something I'm real grateful for, because one day we might need these skills, unfortunately. But, and it's some great family time, really. Just like what people say, you know. We're over here laughing, having a good time, and at some point in the year, we don't get to eat what we're preparing. So that's a plus, too. There are two things that I want to note. Number one, when you do this sort of thing, plan ahead of time. Have all your stuff together and make sure you do the process right. And number two, when you do this process, I advise that you pick out your chickens the day before and put them in some sort of containment and withhold their feed. You can give them water, but withhold their feed. And without being too graphic, essentially, when you go to part out the bird, you don't have to mess with any feed or anything on the inside. So just a little word of advice. The one thing that I learned while watching my uncle and my dad is my uncle, the way he's carting out these birds, he's not opening up the cavity and pulling out all the offal. He's just carting out the bird, and then we're getting rid of the carcass, what's left of it. So if that's something you want to do, meaning you don't really want to mess with a whole chicken, you can just cart it out right there without taking all the insides out. Yeah, that got a nice clean bird there. It'll cut up real nice. So we got all the birds dispatched. We got them all plucked. Now we're just carting them out. The one thing that I recommend y'all have when you do process your chickens is one of those tables like I have. You don't realize how invaluable that little faucet is during your processing steps until you don't have one. We happen to have that table because, like I said, we're an outdoor family and do a lot of fishing, a lot of hunting. So we've had that table. If you don't have one, you definitely need to address the little foldable table that has a sink on it. As far as our knives, I know somebody at some point is going to ask what knives we use. So we just use regular house knives. Today we use my K-bar knife to dispatch the birds. It doesn't matter what knife you use or what knife you have. What matters is that it's sharp. You gotta keep your knives sharp during this process. You might even need to take a break halfway through and touch up your knives and hone your knives. Because the one thing about this process is, while it's not hard, if you don't have the right tools, it takes way longer than it needs to. So keep your knives sharp, get a table. The last thing I recommend would be one of those chicken cones, where we put that chicken in it and Dad dispatched it. That's way easier than the old school method where you put it on the chopping block and try to cut its head off. Don't do that. And yes, chickens will run around the yard without a head. Ask me how I know. For those of you who might be a little intimidated processing chickens, I just want to let you know that it's not as hard as you would think it might be. You just gotta girdle up your loins and be ready to do it. But as far as how hard it is physically demanding, yeah, no, it's not that hard, and it's quite a easy process once you get it down all the way. So if you're new to this venture, give it a try. Maybe find somebody local to you that processes birds, or maybe just get some birds yourself and call some friends and give it a shot, because I promise you, eating organic chicken, organic eggs, that's the way to go. And you're going to be a whole lot prouder of the meal you make when you know where that chicken comes from. So give it a shot, guys, if you've never done it before. I was intimidated the first time I tried it, but I think this is our third or fourth time at this point. So give it a shot. Alright, y'all. If you enjoyed the video, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and as always, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.